Welcome to Women's Sports Weekly, where women's sports happen every day, but we talk about it once a week. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Danielle. Women's Sports Weekly is a podcast where we discuss the latest news, explore interesting stories, and share our love for women's sports. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at WomensSportsWeeklyPod. Follow us and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Send us an email at WomensSportsWeeklyPod@gmail.com, and we may feature your email on the Les.
The Les is our listener experience zone. We cover it every once in a while here on Women's Sports Weekly, so please send us an email. Danielle, you did it.
Barely. Hanging on by a thread over here.
You ran your second marathon in 2 weeks this past Sunday. Tell us about it. How do you feel?
It was really fun. I mean, I started off feeling really good, and I was like, what is happening?
I saw you at mile 2, and then I did not see you the rest of the time because I had softball this past Sunday, and I knew you had support along the way. And you were cruising at mile 2. We had friends who saw you at 9, and you were cruising at 9, and then I got some text messages. I think it was around 16 or 18.
Yeah, 16.
And you were like, I'm starting to hurt. And I was like, oh no, I'm worried. But you did it, and you did it fast.
I wouldn't say fast, but started off strong, and I knew I was going to fall off the wagon at some point because I was like, there's just no way. My right knee completely fell apart at mile 16, and I texted you, and you called me, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to be okay for the next 10 miles.
I was worried because I thought that you weren't going to be able to finish, so I got scared.
If I was smart, I wouldn't have finished because I probably should have listened to my body, but I was like, I am powering through. But overall, it was a lot of fun. You mentioned friends on the course. Shout out to Katie, who even ran some of it with me. I saw Lex and Sarah.
Great sign for you.
Great sign.
You have to say what the sign said.
So if you have listened before, you have heard me talk about basketball, and the tagline for Brogan, my maiden name, is there's no D in Brogan. Mm-hmm. And Lex and Sarah incorporated that into their sign, which when I saw it, I laughed out loud. So that was so fun. I also saw Amanda.
One of my best friends.
Yes, who was running the relay. But I saw her at first in Sloan's Lake Park before she had started. And then I'm running past the water station, and all of a sudden I hear, hey! And I ran into Amanda on the course, which was so funny. Claudia was out there, and then Brittany was out there, who Brittany's partner was also running. It was just so fun seeing all the signs and friends out there. And I've talked about Colfax before. Like, I want to be part of the Colfax race on some capacity every year, whether it's the half, the relay, the full, because I just love seeing Denver get out there and run and people support, even though I was complaining there's not enough supporters out there. It's not like a Chicago or New York. Like, we lack people coming out and cheering, which is a little annoying. I feel like there should be more people, but regardless, was super fun.
That's great. Maybe everyone had a softball game like I did.
So I was talking to Ryan and Trish after. Ryan had a huge PR, our friends Ryan and Trish, and he had a 13-minute PR. But I was talking to them after the race because I was complaining that not enough people were out. And Trish was like, yeah, like, this is such an athletic city. So many runners. Where are they all? I'm like, they're running.
Yeah, they're out doing other things. They're like in the mountains. They're like, I'm not running today.
Exactly. And I was like, if they're not running the race, I said just that. They're skiing, they're hiking, they're doing something else, which is kind of funny. But I just still love it. You get to run through Empower Field, which is the pro football stadium here. And outside of my knee pain, super fun day.
That's great. What were some of the good signs that you saw?
Ooh, there were some good ones out there. So obviously my favorite was there's no D in Brogan, but there is a go. My favorite one was all toenails go to heaven. If you're a runner, you know you lose toenails every once in a while, and that really made me laugh. And then I saw one, run if you're gay, and I wish I yelled, but I was in so much pain at that point. I wish I yelled gay gays, but the moment passed, I was like, well, you missed it. You missed your chance. And then Brittany had one that said tap here if you're queer, so I tapped that one. It was fun.
I love it. Love it. Love it. I love a good marathon sign. I wish I was there more to support, but we did afterwards go and celebrate, and we made Ryan do a shoey for his PR because that's what we're doing now. What do you think you've learned about yourself through doing this 2 marathons in 2 weeks process?
Even though my knee was bothering me, my right leg is just like messed up right now and angry with me. I am pretty amazed with just what my body can do. And obviously I've been training for quite a while now and just running more over the past few years. But like, I ran the same course 2 years ago Granted, it was my first marathon back after Achilles rupture, and my time was almost 30 minutes slower.
Wow.
So I think just putting the work in and just a reminder that you can do hard things. A lot of that was painful and was not like my best day, but you can still show up for yourself and still do it and still have fun. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I really just feel like you're like so happy when you're running. It's really amazing to see. It's amazing to see someone in their element like that. So I'm really proud of you. Can you say what you said to me this past weekend?
What? That I'm proud of myself?
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
There you go. We're taking in my nephew's energy. My nephew this past week got his yellow belt in karate, and he's been walking around saying, I'm so proud of myself. And I'm like, you should be.
Yes.
And I love that he's saying that because he's not going around asking for other people to be proud of him. He's just proud of himself. And that's some good energy.
Also, the video of him counting in Japanese as he does his little kickbacks. I've never seen anything cuter, I don't think. Over the weekend, I was like, can you pull that video up again? I just need to watch this again. And we were just staring at him, so serious, so into it. I just love it.
He's 5 years old. He's destined for some great things, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we also have Run Club this week. Tell us about Run Club this week.
So if you've been to Run Club before, you know, if you listen to our episode for the secret word and tell the bartender the word, when you get your first draft, you will get 50% off. This week's word is Colfax in light of the Colfax Marathon. We meet every Thursday at the 99ers Sports Bar at 6 p.m. We run 3 miles and then hang at the bar for a little bit. Come on out. We hope to see you there at Run Club.
There might be another shoey this week. Not for you, but I know some other people in our Run Club brand Colfax.
Yes,
So
I'm bummed I'm going to miss it.
if they tell us that there's a PR involved,
you're going to make them do a shoe. You're the shoey police.
I am the shoey police. I am officially now the shoey police. And it's a job that I really like because people don't want to do it. Everyone else around them is disgusted. And then they kind of are like, yeah, I should be celebrating my PR. And then they get on board and you pour the beer into your shoe and you drink it. And it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. It's not great, but it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And everyone's happy.
Correct.
I am the most happy. All right. We also got in a discussion this week that I think we need to bring to the podcast.
You're doing yourself dirty by doing this, but be my guest.
Literal dirtiness. So we went to a friend's this past week and they live in an apartment complex and they have a nice hot tub. And it's our friend Alex, and she also watches our dog Scout a lot when we go away. We had a wonderful night in the hot tub. It was so nice.
I can use that hot tub right now.
We soaked for a while and then we got out and we came home, and it was late by our standards. It was like close to 9 o'clock. And I just took my clothes off, my bathing suit off, and I put my pajamas on.
Wow.
And I hopped into bed.
And I said to you before that, I was like, are you going to shower? Because I was so tired. I didn't necessarily want to shower. And I thought about it, but I was like, no, you know me. I literally cannot do that.
So you showered, and then I didn't because I am dirty and stinky.
And I'm used to this, so I didn't even bat an eyelash.
And then we went to Run Club the following day. We always do an icebreaker with the people who come. And I said, do you have to shower after you go into a public pool or a hot tub or even like a private pool?
And when you say have to, you mean do people set this standard for themselves?
Yes.
Like when you're out of a public pool or hot tub, do you go home and need to shower?
And everyone in Run Club said yes.
And you were so shocked by this. Like people were grimacing when you said no.
I know people who don't like to take showers like me. So I was just surprised. And so I must know if there are listeners out there who are dirty little girls like me.
I don't think most people are bold enough to share that information either.
That was the other thing. I was looking around and I was like,
I don't know. By the look of their faces, I think they were being honest.
all right. Well, you let us know. Is it a must? Do you have to get into a shower after a pool or hot tub? Or can you go to bed when you're tired?
This is one of those couple things. Like, are you in a couple? I have to shower. You don't. But I'm sure there's many couples out there who are just clean people. And both are going to say yes. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what people say.
I'm clean. Ish. All right. Let's get into the highlight reel for this week. The WNBA is in its 29th season and it's here.
It's here. It's queer. And we are ready for the season.
Get used to it. We'll just highlight a couple of games. The first games of the season. We know that games have happened since then, but I want to talk about the Liberty versus the Aces, where the Liberty won 92-78. Mostly, I want to talk about this game because I want to talk about Natasha Cloud.
It was so fun seeing her out there, especially after what happened about how she got traded for Phoenix and was going to go to the Connecticut Sun and then landed in New York. Very cool to see her out there.
Literally has been getting thrown around, and I just love her. I have so much respect for her. She had 22 points in this game. I think she is such a great fit for New York. You can tell she's a point guard, how she makes personal relationships with everyone so that she can learn and get to know them. And she's talked about this in interviews before, of like really learning and getting to know people so that on the court she knows exactly what they need. And that is such an amazing point guard quality. Not to be like, I do things a certain way and everyone on the team's going to adapt, but like, how can I actually feed the 4 other players on this team? How do they like to receive the ball? How can I set up the offense? I was just amazed by her in that first game. I also think she brings such a benefit to the New York Liberty because she takes pressure off of Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina doesn't need to be the point guard. She also brings this lightness out of Sabrina that I have not seen before, and I started seeing it. We actually saw it when we went to Unrivaled because it was Natasha Cloud's birthday, and Sabrina had her shirt tied up and her belly out and was pretending that she was a bottle service girl singing happy birthday to Natasha Cloud. And then we've seen videos on social media of Sabrina Ionescu twerking, things I've never seen before. And I do think Natasha Cloud has something to do with that and brings pressure off Sabrina so Sabrina can be more open. And I also think she takes pressure off Sabrina to not have to do as much on defense, which there's no D in Sabrina, you know, like that's not her thing either. She's definitely done better, but that's not where she thrives as well. So I'm just really, really happy Natasha Cloud's on that team. And I think it's going to be a great season for her and for the Liberty.
I just need to say 2 things. And I couldn't squeeze it in there while you just went on that rant. I know you love your Natasha Cloud. When we met her at Unrivaled, super cool. I think she just brings a light to everyone. That is her personality, the way she interacts with people. All the kudos to her. Also, I was just laughing in my head when you said Sabrina's belly. I think you mean her 6-pack. She is a tiny little thing. And I just love, and I know belly does not mean that it's like everyone has a belly, but for some reason that word just makes me laugh.
Okay, and you pointed this out to me recently that when I refer to my own stomach, anyone's stomach, I say the word belly.
And I automatically think of beer belly. And that's an issue on my part. Like, it is a belly, but you always say the word belly.
I always say the word belly, and I never mean it as a beer belly, and I never mean it in a negative way. Like,
I know.
I just call the middle part of my section, anyone's section, a belly, and now catch myself doing it, and I'm like, do I sound so childish when I'm talking? I do think it's from yoga. So for those who don't know, I teach yoga as my other side hustle on top of this podcast. And we always talk about deep belly breaths. And I don't know if that has come over or if I've just always been someone who says the word belly. I have to check in with my family. Like, does my family say belly?
Oh, yeah, I want to know. When we met, you were already in the yoga world. So I didn't know you pre-yoga. So I can't say.
I've definitely been doing it for at least the past 10 years. And if I've never caught it, so I think I've been doing it forever. Back to Natasha Cloud. Back to my Natasha Cloud fangirl moment. I'm also so happy that she's on the New York Liberty because Jalen Sherrod, who played for Colorado, who we also love, is in her second year in the WNBA with the Liberty, and she's in the point guard position. She's not ready to be a starter necessarily yet. However, I think she's going to learn so much from Natasha Cloud because their games are very similar. And so I'm just like, Natasha Cloud's going to be able to grow Jalen Sherrod, and I just want good things for Jalen Sherrod. So I thought that was really, really cool as well. For the Aces in this game, Asia is still Asia. She can't be stopped. Stop.
So good. She's so fun to watch.
She had 31 points and 16 rebounds. It wasn't enough for the Aces, but Asia continues to be Asia, and her shoes are amazing, and the commercial is even more amazing. It comes on TV. It's the only commercial I'm ever excited to see.
I love it.
Trying to learn all the words. Natasha Cloud was not the only one who had a great game. Brianna Stewart for the Liberty had 25 points. Does it feel crazy to say that it was a quiet 25 points?
No. I was just happy for Stewie because I think she struggled a little bit at Unrivaled, and surprise, she had knee surgery. Like, obviously there are things happening, but I felt like she looked really good over the weekend.
That's such a great point. I forgot she had knee surgery. No one even talked about it. She had knee surgery. She's back. She's scoring 25 points. Just being Brianna Stewart. And Jonquel Jones added 17 points. I'm going to talk about the defense one more time. Between Jonquel Jones and Natasha Cloud now, with a guard defender and a down low defender, the Liberty looked good.
They did.
They look good. So we'll see what happens. We're less than a week into the WNBA season. We can't really make any sweeping judgments yet, but first impressions, they came out strong.
Yes. The other game we will briefly talk about was the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. Another team that looked really good. The Indiana Fever won 93-58, and they have a whole new lineup out there. Not whole new. You got your Kelsey Mitchell back. You got Caitlin Clark back, Aaliyah Boston. But then you throw in DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard in the starting lineup. That's a beast starting lineup. You can tell they're still learning each other. The WNBA doesn't get a lot of leadway going into the preseason to when games start, but they have a lot of experience in their starting lineup. DeWanna Bonner has been playing in the league for a long time, and she had a very exciting day over the weekend. She now became the third all-time leading scorer for the WNBA. She has 7,489 career points. You could tell and I said this too when we were watching the game. When I was close to scoring 1,000 points in high school, it really messes with your head.
I know.
And you're like pressing, you just want it to be over with. Yes, it's fun. It's a big accomplishment, but it's also like, I can't have this hanging over my head anymore. I just want this done. And you could tell that's what was going on with DeWanna Bonner.
And Caitlin Clark was like, I'm going to get you the ball. I'm going to get you the ball.
Yeah, they kept saying Caitlin wanted to get her the ball. But it ended up happening on foul shots.
Yeah.
So she made the first foul shot to tie.
And she was relieved with the tie.
Oh, she put her hands in the air and she just like total relief. And then she broke it on the next foul shot. So she passed Tina Thompson. Ahead of her is Diana Taurasi in the number 1 spot, followed by Tina Charles. Really, really cool accomplishment.
Definitely. That should have been the storyline of the day. And also, Caitlin Clark had her third WNBA career triple-double.
Yes. And the funny thing about this is they were up by a lot. Caitlin Clark came out of the game. DeWanna Bonner was still in because she was so close to scoring. And Stephanie White, like, I'm sure that was her only focus. Like, DeWanna needs to get her points. And Caitlin Clark goes up to Stephanie White and was like, I'm 1 rebound away from a triple-double. Can I go back in? Which, I get it. You don't have a triple-double every day. I just thought it was funny. And she was also trying to get DeWanna the ball.
Yes.
The post-game conference, I felt bad for DeWanna that Caitlin was also in the post game because, like you said, it should have been DeWanna's day, but they seem to vibe pretty well, DeWanna and Caitlin. So I thought that was cool to see them interact in the post game with Holly Rowe.
Definitely. And Caitlin should have been spoken about as well.
Of
but
course.
Then a flagrant foul happened between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And now that's what everyone has been talking about. And I'm just like, it was hardly a flagrant foul. Angel Reese, the entire game, was struggling. She still played great. She still scored her points and got her rebounds, but you could tell she was pressing during this game. I don't know what's happening. We have 40 minutes of data to go off of after this first home opener. She was upset about something. Caitlin fouled her, and she was continued to be upset.
Well, she got up and went after Caitlin, and then Aaliyah Boston intervened, and then flagrant foul on Clark, technical on Boston, technical on Reese. So it was just messy. To your point, I think she was already revved up, and when it happened, I've been there. Where I've been like, anything could have happened. You just explode. But it's also the tired storyline of Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Like, I just think that also weighs on a person. So I'm honestly sick of hearing that comparison because they're two totally different players. It's annoying, and that definitely has something to do with it.
For sure. And now we have headlines about that when we should be talking about DeWanna Bonner and
But also, to change the subject, we have exciting news to share. We finally picked teams.
Oh, yes.
We each picked a team that we're going to root for. Because if you've heard us talk about the W before, you've heard us say it's impossible for us to pick one team to root for because there are so many players we just love to watch. So it's like, how can I pick a team when I love players on another team and then root against said player? But I've decided my favorite player in the league right now is Skylar Diggins. I've loved Skylar Diggins. We both were in college at the same time. I would watch her play when she was at Notre Dame. Post Notre Dame, like, I've been a fan of hers for a long time. And then when we met her, forget it. That just made me love her even more.
Yep.
So I'm like, why am I not rooting for the team that my favorite player's on? That's what I'm going for. So Seattle Storm is my new team.
Wow. How does that feel to say that?
I'm pumped.
Oh.
Even though they lost over the weekend. Not a good start, but hopefully we turn things around. I found my team, Seattle Storm. And you have a team to share too, because another person we met at Unrivaled and interviewed, you fell in love with.
That's true. And they also lost their opening game, but I am going with the Atlanta Dream because I'm a Ryan Howard
Stan.
Is that what it's called? Stan? Yeah. I'm a Ryan Howard stan.
No, you're a Ryan Howard. What is it called?
Fangirl? No, Stan is right.
But groupie.
Please.
I don't really know the definition of groupie, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I am not a groupie.
And you love Alicia Gray, and the two of them together, their TikToks, if you're not on their TikToks, they just do food reviews, and it is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why. I just love their relationship.
They have a great relationship, and Alicia Gray has the best accent I've ever heard in my entire life. She has this southern accent where I'm like, sometimes I need captions for it, but it's perfect.
Yes. So it's a little concerning now that we're rooting for two different teams and we didn't pick the same team, but we got to do what's right for ourselves.
Yeah, it'll make things more interesting. So go Atlanta Dream.
Go Seattle Storm.
Now is the time for us to do an ad for ourselves. Please rate and subscribe to our podcast. We are a growing podcast. We love to do this. We want to keep doing this. So please share the podcast with your friends. We don't ask you to pay for the podcast. We just ask you to rate, subscribe, and share. We create the podcast ourselves. We edit the podcast. We produce the podcast ourselves. So if you want to support us, a rate, a subscribe, a positive review goes so far. If you rated the podcast 5 stars and you send us a DM of your screenshot of your rating, we will send you a Women's Sports Weekly sticker. We just ordered new stickers. They've come in. So please go ahead and do that and continue to support us. And we are so thankful that you are listening. We also this week have another interview. I'm so excited for this interview. We're going to stay on the WNBA train with our friends at the Let the Girls Play podcast. Kelsey, Bailey, and Amelia Bane are joining us today. So before we get into that interview, we're going to get into what we're looking forward to. Danielle, what do you have?
Also sticking on the WNBA. Today, Thursday, May 22nd, the Indiana Fever play the Atlanta Dream. This is the second time these two teams are playing this week. The Dream won their first matchup, and this game is going to be played at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Prime. What are you looking forward to this week, Car?
In the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League, Angel City is taking on Racing Louisville this Saturday, May 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Ion. That 10 p.m. start is a rough one for Eastern Time, but it is on a Saturday. I do also just want to call out that for Angel City, player Savvy King collapsed in the 74th minute of Angel City's match against the Utah Royals about a week and a half ago now. She is okay. She received medical attention on the field for about 10 minutes. Really scary for everyone. She then received heart surgery and is on the road to recovery, but definitely a scary moment for all. So sending all the good vibes to Savvy King. The NWSL admitted afterwards that they shouldn't have continued the game because they did continue the game after. I'm sure it was scary for the fans and the players and the medical staff to witness and be part of. I'm just so happy she's alive. She's only 20 years old, and just really want to shout out the medical staff who were able to respond so quickly and give her the care that she needed. Angel City again is taking on Racing Louisville this Saturday. Be sure to check it out. With that, let's get into our interview with the Let the Girls Play podcast. Kelsey Bailey and Amelia Bane are the hosts of one of my favorite podcasts, Let the Girls Play. They call themselves two non-experts, but don't let them fool you. They know a ton about the WNBA. Let the Girls Play is a perfect blend of the WNBA, college basketball, comedy, and friendship. They are here with us today to discuss the 2025 WNBA season. We are so excited to have them. Welcome, Kelsey and Amelia.
Wow. Thank you for making us sound so legitimate.
That is a really nice, coherent introduction. And I can't say our introductions are ever quite so clear.
Yeah, this is really wonderful.
For the audience, can you say who's on which mic so that they can get used to your voices if they are not listeners? I'm sure they will be by the end of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Kelsey speaking right now.
This is Amelia speaking right now. I sound like this.
Buttery smooth.
Yes.
Can you start by just telling us a little bit about yourselves yourselves, how you know each other, and why you started the Let the Girls Play podcast.
Yeah, Amelia and I have known each other for a very long time, almost 10 years. We started doing comedy together in New York and forged our relationship through that. And Amelia brought me into the world of the WNBA.
Yeah, mostly through the Liberty. You know, I started going to Liberty games, and then I think in an annoying way, but I think an important way, I started telling all my friends, like, you have to come. You have to come. It's so fun. And I feel like Kelsey ended up being like even more radicalized by the WNBA than I was. So yeah.
Amelia got to take us to the first WNBA game I ever went to, and it was the season opener for the Liberty in the 2023 season. And I remember leaving it and said to my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I gotta get involved with this. I don't know how, but I just need to get involved in this community and in this league. And then I became absolutely obsessed, and I have a very special brain where once I have an interest, I need to learn everything about what that interest is. I need to know every player. I need to know where they went to college. I need to know where they grew up. And I just sort of became obsessed and would constantly be like spewing conversation towards Amelia. And we both just got kind of locked in. And I think at one point we were like, there isn't that much like conversation or podcast or just, not that much media that specifically covers. I mean, there's great podcasts out there, don't get us wrong, but there's not people who are sort of like new to the league or sort of like an entry point podcast or conversation happening. And we thought, why not give it a try and see if anybody actually listens or cares?
I think with sports, there's it feels like there's a barrier to like, you have to know all the stats and all the best players. And yeah, so we're sort of like, to our listeners, hey, we're just learning this too.
Yeah.
So come with us.
We're going off the vibes. We're talking about some of the things that maybe they're not talking about on ESPN, like who's dating who, or our conspiracy theories about what helps the Indiana Fever win. But yeah, it was just sort of like a place for all the other things that aren't stats or strategy.
What helps the Indiana Fever win? What's the conspiracy theory?
They have to touch water. They have to be in or around a body of water.
Yes. Yeah.
We have
On a boat, near an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
It was after the Olympic break and they had all gone on a boat together. That's when they really locked in and started winning. There was videos of them in like the plunge pools, and then they started winning. So in and around a body of water helps them win.
Oh yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah. And I think they took it to heart because then we started to see a lot more.
Are there times where you're like, they must listen to the podcast because we said something and then it happened?
Literally never. I hope sometimes they aren't listening because sometimes we're dogging on things in a way where I'm like, oh, I hope I never really meet Brianna Stewart because I said her sneakers look like LaCroix cans. Like
they do. I love
they do.
LaCroix.
I love LaCroix.
Both beautiful.
Drinking one right now.
I like to talk to them on the podcast like they're listening. If someone gets injured, we'll say like, we're praying for you, that kind of thing. I imagine they're all listening, but I think in my heart, I know probably not yet.
One time when we were talking about, it was like after the Skims campaign launched, and we were talking about how it was all sort of like the more feminine players in the league. And we talked about how Natasha Cloud said there needed to be more of like visibility for like the more mask presenting players. And Natasha Cloud saw that and commented and shared our little clip.
Love that.
Shout out Natasha Cloud.
She's really good. She's out there. She's lurking.
You mentioned obviously the New York Liberties, kind of the gateway to the WNBA, but just curious with this season here now, what are the teams that you're especially excited to see, and can you tell us why?
I think this is one a lot of people are probably excited to see. I'm excited to see Sydney Colson enter the Indiana Fever locker room and see what happens there. There's a lot of changes on that team, but that's the one that I'm most excited about. She's
Definitely.
so funny.
While I'm a Liberty fan, I'm also a really big Dallas Wings fan. I mainly started watching them and being invested in them because of Enrique and also their former coach, Latricia Tramwell, who also used to see a lot of our content.
We DM a lot.
Yeah, and Amelia is doing that from her personal account, not from the Let the Girls Play handle. Let it be known. She is forging a personal friendship with Latricia Tramwell. So I've always been a Dallas Wings fan, so I'm very excited for Dejanay to be there, obviously for Paige to be there, but just it feels like it's going to be a big year for them, and I'm excited.
That's going to be great.
What about you guys?
So we always say that we have this predicament that we never pick a team. We definitely need to find one team that we want to root for, but we are heavily invested in players. Enrique, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, so I follow all the Notre Dame players, and we just go back and forth.
Danielle's actually the biggest Marina Mabry fan.
I do love Marina Mabry.
Let's go.
I love her.
So she does need to listen to your podcast to get all the info on Scrappy Doo, which is what you all call her.
But this year, I'm also very excited for Dallas Wings because Paige and Enrique. I'm just really excited to see them play and all the other changes with that team.
And we're also holding out for a team in Denver. We're just so upset that there's not a team in Denver.
It's gonna happen.
I'm excited for the Liberty this year. I love that Natasha Cloud's going to be there, so I'm excited for that. After last year, I feel like the Minnesota Lynx have to do something. And they did a lot last year, but I was so impressed. And I know, Amelia, you went to Unrivaled. I was so impressed with Natisha Heidemann when I saw her and just fell in love when I got to watch her live. I try to claim teams. I was like, okay, I like Tip Hayes. Kate Martin's a fun story. Maybe I'll be a Valkyries fan, but they're going to stink, and I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know if I can endure that.
You get in when they're
Yeah.
bad, and then it's even sweeter when they win.
Like all the Liberty fans, they were so bad for so long. I do think, what are the Lynx going to do this season? Will the chip on their shoulders be enough? The chip on Fee's shoulders, will she go absolutely sicko mode like
Chip
she
on
did
each
in Unrivaled?
shoulder.
Truly.
WNBA Unrivaled,
Yeah.
2 chips.
Yeah.
Ready.
That's
I'm scared.
so true. And I also think the Indiana Fever might put something together that's scary.
Yeah. DeWanna Bonner being there is huge. And obviously Caitlin just being in her sophomore season, and she bulked up. She got some muscle on her, which I think was definitely needed last season. It's going to be crazy. I think everybody, sorry, except for the Sun and the Valkyries, have and maybe honestly Seattle, I don't know. I hate to dog on any team, but I do feel like they took a pretty big blow with Jewel leaving. It's everybody's going to be so stacked. Atlanta's going to be crazy good.
All the teams pretty much except for New York and Minnesota, maybe I'm forgetting some, have such roster changes that it's going to take some time for chemistry for all these teams. So
That's a good point.
I'm most scared of the Lynx.
Atlanta might be my team this year.
You love Ryan Howard.
We met her on Unrivaled, and I literally melted. I was and then I looked up how old she was, and she's 25 years old. We do have the same birthday, which I was excited about.
That's awesome.
But I love her, and I love Alicia Gray. So
That is the crazy thing is I'm a woman in my mid 30s, and I'm going goo goo gaga over these 22-year-olds who it's smarter for them to stay on their parents' health insurance than to take the leagues. It's just so crazy, just how age is kind of forgotten in fandom.
for sure.
One of the things we've been talking a lot about too is with the players opting out of their current collective bargaining agreement. We were curious is there one serious thing and one unserious thing that you think they should add for the upcoming CBA?
I think one of the more serious things is just them getting a part of the sales of their jerseys and the sales of the merch from the team they're on, or just seeing some sort of money from that, because a Kate Martin jersey will sell out in 10 seconds, but how much of that does she actually see and is she a part of, is something that I've heard Kelsey Plum talk about on podcasts. I'm not sure what it's like for NBA players, but I can only imagine there's something. And obviously, again, always have to give this caveat. Amelia and I are not experts. And a lot of our education is through podcasts that players are doing, or for Amelia through Reddit, or for me through young TikTokers talking about it. Again, I think having that sort of share with the league and with the teams would be really nice.
I think also pensions are another thing that NBA players get. So you play a certain number of years in the NBA, and then I think you have health insurance forever. Is it forever? I don't know. It might be. You heard it here.
We spoke to some WNBA players when they came through Denver at the 99ers, which is a women's sports bar in Denver. And they were saying, we said the 3 Ps. Let's see if I can remember them. I'm not going to remember the third. Hopefully you can. Pension was one that they wanted to see. And then more support for parents was the other.
I don't remember the third.
It might be pay. Pay might be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Increased pay.
I think so.
I think a pension would be really cool, and so many of the players laid the groundwork for this league, and to them not to have anything in return feels unfair.
Yeah. 100%.
What about one unserious thing? I've heard on a soccer podcast, Lynn Biondolo say that she wants Ubers to each and every game. And Sam Ewis said that she would want doggy daycare.
Oh,
That's fun. And that's
Doggy
key for parenting.
yeah, that is P for parenting. And I think the Las Vegas Aces, a lot of their players send their dogs to the same woman that watches all of their dogs, and she'll like post on their game days when it was like Alicia Clark's dog and like Meg Gustafson's and like Asia Wilson's dogs all together at the same boarding place.
How do you
What
know
a dream
that?
job.
I'm a freak.
Kelsey's a freak. Kelsey knows stuff that she shouldn't.
I know stuff that I shouldn't. Sometimes Asia like shares the stuff to hers, so that's like how I click through and follow.
Kelsey has secretly gotten into Asia Wilson's close friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
She hasn't. I'm kidding.
I wish. Pet care, honestly, we should all be getting better pet care from our jobs. And then like one unserious, I think that everyone should be given their own personal social media manager.
That's a good one. I think everyone gets a budget for their own reality television show, and they get to pick the style of it. So it could be,
Traders-esque.
Yeah.
it could anything. I think
Love
Marina Mabrey's
Island.
got Traders. Yes.
That's really good.
To me, the reality TV one is serious.
Yeah. That should be swapped for parental leave. It should be swapped for required to be on reality television show.
That's mostly for me.
That would be great. I think this is probably not too unserious, but they should all get personal chefs. Like,
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Not just like at the facility, like for their house. Or they should get equal budget for their wardrobe. Because sometimes you see tunnel fits and people are like designer. And then like maybe players who are newer to the league, or maybe they're not like one of the stars, they're wearing like the same pants I have from Old Navy, which is like respect and yes, resourceful and get the deals.
Shout out Old Navy.
Shout out Old Navy and Kennedy Burke. And you'll just see the League Fit Instagram. They'll break down someone's outfit and it's like Old Navy or like whatever.
That's a good one. I like that stylist. Or like something for the girlfriends
Oh,
and
like a
wives,
wag
the
cam.
gauze. A wag cam.
It's just always on the wags. And then you have an option to put it in the corner of your screen on League Pass to get
And
their
for
live reactions.
That would be great. And for some people who are like dating, I want more information on who's dating who. That's what I want.
Fourth piece, personal
Yeah.
lives, access to their personal lives.
When they check into a game, it's like the 6'2" guard from Notre Dame, currently dating.
Yeah, current situationship with Dejanay Carrington.
And they're like Instagram QR code.
That's what I want, because that's how you get more people to care about the league, is you care about the players,
That's exactly
their
right.
personal lives.
Yep. We need more personal.
and from what should they get to what do we want?
That's why I loved Unrivaled. I feel like we got so much access to the players in a way that was really fun.
Yeah.
And the
so good.
referees. My wife was
Yeah.
in the bathroom washing her hands next to the ref.
Yeah.
You were next to a referee washing their hands?
Oh, my wife in the bathroom and in between
Oh my
games with Unrivaled
gosh.
was washing her hands. And
It was
she said
after
the
they had
ref
thrown
looked
somebody
she was
out,
about to
right?
Cry. Yeah,
Oh no.
It was when they threw Angel Reese out, I think.
it was.
Wow.
I've said before that I think the refs should have to do a reality TV show so we can learn more about them and why they make such bad decisions.
It would humanize them.
Yeah. What's their car ride home like after a game when everyone has been booing them? And
We need a dash cam.
after Cheryl Reeve is absolutely ripping them apart in her post-game presser, saying we need a third party that sits in a little booth and makes the decisions, or whatever she said.
Oh man, it's rough. Rough to be a ref.
And by said, you mean it was all printed on her.
It's all in her graphic t-shirt that she wore under her blazer. We do have a friend who works for the WNBA and will listen to our podcast, and sometimes they're like, you need to be nicer to the refs. We need the refs. And I was like, get out of here.
It is helpful sometimes. Sometimes she'll be like, you were really wrong about this.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
Again, we're not experts.
Yep.
We're speaking off vibes and our gut, not, I'm not actually looking at the CBA contract like I know things.
Okay, let's get into a game. Have you all ever played cut bench start?
I don't think so, but I think I catch it. Yeah, I got it.
We're going to give you 3 people or 3 things. One thing that you would cut, meaning you would remove it. One that you would bench, meaning you would want to have it on your bench, but not necessarily your starter. And then one that you would start, like that's
One you
the
want to
person
marry.
going out.
Got it. Yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to go off people that we hear you talk about a lot on your podcast. And so one of them is Sandy Brondello, the head coach for the New York Liberty. Latricia Trammell, who you already mentioned, who is the former head coach for the Dallas Wings and now just a pro fisher. And then Kurt Miller, former head coach for the Los Angeles Sparks, but now current general manager for the Dallas Wings.
Short King. Okay, I would marry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I would.
Go for it.
Hold on, I have to. In my brain, I have to reorganize things now.
Cut and start.
Yeah, I would cut Sandy Brondello
Amelia looks surprised.
Oh my God.
for the purpose of this game.
Move to LA.
Well, sometimes-
Get where you came from.
Sometimes no. Sometimes she makes really bad calls, and I'm like, it's a love-hate relationship with Sandy. I would say most of my time. Cut Sandy. Keep her outfits. She's one of the best dressed coaches in the league. I would bench Kurt Miller, Short King, and I would marry / start Latricia Trammell. It's Trammell time. Always Trammell time.
Always Trammell time.
Always Trammell time.
Amelia.
Okay, I would cut. Sorry to Short King. I would also cut Kurt Miller. I would start Sandy Brondello because I want Latricia Trammell on the bench with me.
Hanging
We're
out.
on the bench. We're hanging out.
You're cutting up.
Cutting up. Yeah.
You're kikiing.
We're talking
Have you
shop
seen
about
that?
fishing. She got a hook caught in her hand.
Yeah, don't worry. Amelia was in her DMs, like
I
wishing
did.
her well from her
I
personal
DM'd her
account.
like she said, "Thanks for your concern. I'm okay."
This is like an unlikely friendship that is blossoming
love
between you and LT.
We have to set up a meetup.
I know. I think we could get it now. She's unemployed
She's employed. She's just not employed
by the league.
in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does she have a job?
She's doing broadcasting, or she was during the college season doing, I think, for Oklahoma.
Got it. Okay, so she's got a job, and in her free
She's
time,
got it.
She's fishing.
she's
fishing.
catching rainbow trout. I think she was in Colorado when she got the.
Okay, you need to interview her. Have you ever been to 99ers? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Meet up with LT there.
Okay, second one. Connecticut's very own Marina Mabry. Oh my gosh, now I need to remember where everyone plays.
Confusing. They've all swapped. We're on new teams.
Los Angeles Sparks, Kelsey Plum, and Indiana Fever's DeWanna Bonner. This was what I think you all call stinkers. I tried to put all the stinkers.
DeWanna Bonner, best actress in the league. Meryl Streep of the WNBA. Kelsey Plum, definitely a little stinker. Marina Mabry, arguably the biggest stinker of the league.
Big stink.
And
I
we
think-
mean that positively.
Oh my God, I love her so much, which is why I would start DeWanna Bonner because she's like one of the leading scorers. She's top 10, right? Yeah. And I would, unfortunately, I think I have to cut Plum Dog because I'm scared of what Marina Mabry would do if I cut her. I fear her.
I would start Marina Mabry, bench Kelsey Plum, and then I would cut DeWanna Bonner.
Wow. Why?
Not for any personal reasons. For personal reasons. Actually, it's for personal reasons. It's for very personal
They
reasons, and
also
she knows why.
DM.
And she knows why. No, I think I would start Marina Mabry because she's, again, very scary. I want to go to Costco with her. She does really great TikToks of her going to Costco. I want her to cook for me. I want her to dance with me.
And Kelsey, you know that this game is cup and not Mary.
I am unfortunately not thinking about this in basketball terms at all.
You're marrying Marina Mabry.
Yeah, I want that for life, babe. I want that for life. Yeah, no, I just think, why not start Marina Mabry? Oh man, I forgot this has to be sort of like basketball centered.
It doesn't.
I don't think mine was.
Yeah. And then I'm benching Kelsey because she really makes me laugh. She looks like she likes to have a lot of fun. She likes to play games and stuff. Love that she does dog class. And then DeWanna Bonner, I'm cutting her because I'm scared of Alyssa Thomas. And again, I'm thinking of this in Fuck, Marry, Kill. She's already spoken for. She's passenger princess to Alyssa Thomas of my high school alma mater. I can't disrespect
cut
a fellow Ram like that.
Okay, round 3 is Ellie the Elephant, Sky from Chicago. These are mascots. And Freddie Fever from Indiana.
I'll tell you what, I'm cutting Sky and Freddie.
Whoa.
And I'm starting and marrying Ellie the Elephant. Sky is like a knockoff Ellie. I think Sky should be embarrassed.
Who even is Freddie Fever?
Why we got a male mascot in the women's basketball league? I think that's one. No more male masculine centered mascots and no more male masculine centered coaches.
Ooh.
Whoa. All right.
I don't know if we have a section for rules we would like to include. I guess that can be part of the CBA.
I'm here for it.
I mean, I think, yeah, same. I'm starting Ellie every day. I would bench Sky just because I think I respect that they're like, we got to get rid of Sky Guy, who was, I think, the least popular mascot. But they did basically just copy Ellie. I get the impulse. She's the best mascot in the world. Yeah, and I got to cut Freddy Fever because that's a
Have you
spooky
seen
name.
Freddy Fever? He's
No.
wild looking.
He kind of looks like the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah.
It's got like a big old belly.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not man.
I'm sorry to this man.
I like the Fanatic.
Well, that's because it's
No.
an intergalactic space thing.
And he's giving off weird vibes. He's got some weird vibes. He's very feverish. He's like a little erratic.
As a group, we got to cut him then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As a society, I think
out.
we need to cut him.
So now, based off of all of those, you have a coach's table, a player's table, and a mascot's table. Which one are you sitting at for dinner? You can only
Ellie.
choose one. But
It's
you know
gotta
Freddie's going to be there too.
Oh, okay. So then I have to face the people who I've cut. Okay. Where am I sitting? I think the
I'd sit
coach's
with the
table would.
coaches.
Oh.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I think the coach's table would be boring.
Oh, no way. Sandy seems like she's like, you could get her laughing.
I think LT turns up.
Definitely. She showed
Kurt-
up with a fish hook in her hand.
Yeah,
She's
that's
like,
true.
"Guys, I couldn't miss it. Still here to party.
I'll tell you what. I think I'm still sitting with the mascots. They'll entertain me silently. You know.
Say they can't talk to you, Kelsey.
That's all right. I don't want to talk while I'm eating. And then I can sit down and eat my risotto, and nobody's gonna interrupt me, or I don't have to be like. Anyway.
My impulse that like I should sit with the coaches is sort of like I'm good with parents energy. It was always sort of like, oh, I'll talk to your parents. When I was
Yeah,
in
I think you're
middle
getting kind
school.
of like in this answer, you're getting sort of like both Amelia and mine's like our vibe. What we bring to our own personal podcast. Amelia's good with like our parent listeners, and I'm good with the people who are like, all over the place.
You always see someone who's good with the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would y'all sit with?
Who am I?
I would pick the players for sure.
And that's
Sure.
probably the right answer.
That's probably, yeah, I think that is the right answer. That is the right answer.
Switching gears a little bit, what are your way too early predictions on who is making and taking the WNBA championship in 2025?
Honestly, really hard.
We'll take the two teams who are making it and then the one winner.
And this is who we really think, not who we want.
That not important. Whichever.
all these questions so seriously.
I know.
It does not need to. It could be exactly who you want.
So hard because I'm like, well, do the Aces have it this year? I don't think they do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
barely spoke about them at the top.
I definitely think the Lynx will make it. I think that they are going to be so freaking riled up and angry and like just going to like be like fueled by that. While I don't think like they've had any incredible adds to their roster this season in the way that I think the Liberty had an incredible ad with Maureen Johannes coming back, and then Natasha Cloud, and even Izzy Harrison on the bench is great. But yeah, ooh, this is hard. Hold on. Mima, you talk. Also, I call Amelia Mima. Sorry.
Being so thoughtful. I'm just going to say the Lynx are going to beat the Fever to get to the finals. And then the Liberty are going to be upset by the Atlanta Dream. And the Atlanta Dream are going to lose to the Lynx in the finals.
Holy shit, Amelia. My God. Aces aren't even making it to the semis is what Mima's saying.
They're a 6-7 seed. It's not happening.
I'm gagged. Oh my God.
Going to be promoting her shoes. She doesn't have the bandwidth to give us a MVP.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh, clip this.
I love
Clip
that
this,
too.
save this.
I know.
I can see in my mind's eye right now, based on just like their roster, I'm like, the Liberty gotta be in the finals again. Unless something truly crazy happens. And then just based off of pure spite, I think the Lynx will be there. If not there, they'll make it to the semis. And honestly, sorry, I think the Liberty are gonna go back to back.
Ooh.
Look at their roster.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what
It's
I
crazy.
want. That's what I want.
But it's also like with that, maybe they flop.
And you never know, like, people unfortunately can get injured, which just like really throws off the whole trajectory of everything. But I would love to see Atlanta in the finals.
It'd be so fun.
It would be
Yeah.
so great.
I think it would be really nice, and I think BG would retire if they went to the finals.
Yeah.
I don't think BG has many more seasons left in them.
That's a good thought.
Right at the beginning of the Unrivaled season, we were like, BG, I don't know that she's got it. And then she ended up having a great season. So
Yeah, and then she dunked. So joke's on me.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And
Because the
just a
first couple
reminder-
of games, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think BG's like built for this much running.
Yeah.
But then I saw BG twerking on the wall in one of the Unrivaled social videos, and I was like, never mind, she's built for anything.
You need a big wall for that. Yeah. Also, I guess I'm forgetting that like Phoenix might be really good this season too.
True.
I think that there's a curse on Phoenix for what they've done to Natasha Cloud. They'll have
There
to
should
pay,
be.
you know?
There should be. That
For
was
what they did to
wrong.
Skylar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Natasha Cloud was literally going up to Satu Sapali and saying, I'll give you my apartment if you come to Phoenix. I also think they can't do so many people dirty like that and not have some karma come out.
Look what happened to the Aces.
That's exactly right. Okay, so we ask everyone we interview this. We would like to know your favorite athlete in women's sports and why.
Oh my gosh.
I have to really think about this.
In all of women's sports.
Yeah. Because now I'm like, sorry. I'm thinking. Can you guys say yours?
I love Serena Williams, so that is my favorite. She's my number one. She was like such a big role model for me. Not that I played tennis. I'm horrible at tennis, but that was my number one. Who's yours?
Candace Parker has had my heart for forever, so I always go with
Yeah.
her.
She doesn't know if she wants to be Candace or be with her. I know the answer to that question, but
Why not both, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It feels crazy for me not to pick somebody who's in basketball, but I really think I gotta say Simone Biles.
the GOAT.
Just like incredible backstory and, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Serena, but you said Serena. I'm gonna pick someone from the WNBA just because it's the sport that I watch the most and the thing that I maybe care about the most in the world, except for like, you know, no, maybe that's it. But Laney Hamilton, my favorite WNBA player, and I think my favorite athlete.
That's great. And unfortunately injured right now.
But she's come
There's
back
a-
before. And she'll come back again.
Truly. The reason I was laughing earlier, because I was like, oh, it would be funny if I said Gina Davis, because she does sharpshooting. But I was like, I can't like make a joke out of this. That's why I was
Davis from League of Their Own.
that is her. That's the same
I know,
woman.
But like I thought that's
Okay.
that
Yeah.
fictional role as being a woman in sports.
The character of Kit in League of Their Own is my favorite female athlete.
What's Bugs Bunny's love interest?
Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny from Space Jam.
Yeah. There should be the caveat to this is you can also say your favorite fictional women's athlete.
Do you remember how mad people got about Lola Bunny with the new Space Jam because she was like looked more like athletic and not like vampy? And they were
She's too hot.
They were like, you took away this cartoon that we were into.
Because when you get down to it, you're like, so you thought the bunny was hot?
Watch the old one. Don't watch the new one. Just stick with what you like then. No one's like begging you to come jerk off to the new LeBron Space Jam. He was in it, right? Sorry, you can cut this if you guys don't talk like that.
I love that we're all like disturbed about Lola Bunny being sexualized, but we're fine with Ellie as she is.
Oh, yeah. No, Ellie is perfect. Also, Ellie is in control of this. Ellie is the one that's going up to people and twerking on them, and you know, she owns it.
And just to close us out, how can people support you and where can they follow you?
You can follow us at LetTheGirlsPlay_pod on Instagram or LetTheGirlsPlayPod on TikTok. We also are on YouTube, and you can listen on any platform, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it is. Also, you can support us by supporting women's sports and watching women's basketball in any capacity.
Love. I just have to say, and I said this at the top, but your podcast is one of my favorites because you have inside jokes going, you're just laughing, and you do cover the sports, though. You cover it, and you make it so much fun. And I just think if people are looking for something else to listen to during the WNBA season, they should be listening to you all because it is awesome.
That's really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelsey and Amelia, for joining us. That is it for this week. We will see you next week on Women's Sports Weekly. In the meantime, watch women's sports and share the podcast with your friends. Rate and subscribe to the pod on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.